It is a red market today. I agree. Many of you guys would be feeling depressed. But I will remind you guys this, which is our article back from 2015 and it's Ripple's vision. So Ripple always had plans within plans, and this in recent news shows how all of these are coming true. Now, it's not just they are putting it out there, it's kind of hints for me. And so as far as I understand, this really is important for us, and I'll ask, why is it important for us? Because in many aspects XRP ledger is unique as a payment infrastructure. I agree, but customers needed more from XRP ledger, and by all of this, and by this, yes, their wish is coming true. Not only that small contract thing, but also the other areas of partners pushing things further. And when we look at these stuff, and again when we see red market, you need to understand some aspects of price fluctuation. So in order to understand that, we can look at the charts itself, right? Then we understand some aspects like this. I actually showed you guys, pointed these to you guys about charts. Say for example for BTC and ETH, this is coming. Even in yesterday's video I talked to you guys highlighting these, and these patterns are still valid and we are following that trend line. Now if you are looking at the correction for XRP, it is coming back down and all. Think about the link, guys, right? I already cautioned many of you guys saying these, right? And whenever I look at that, it's like it went up 10,000% in this cycle when majority of the market was stagnated, right? So yes, it actually went up, but which goes up has to come back. Anything which goes up like this has to come back. Now that means it should be having correction. And in the Patreon group, I posted many of the charts, links and setups in which they should be cautious, where they should be getting out. And now from that 20 mark, it's back to 7.6. So I cautioned it would be happening, right? When the entire market was lagging, Link did this. That's a positive news for Link holders. But at this time, everything would actually go to the upside when this will correct, and it will also go up along with others, which is actually preparing for a bull run like BTC, Ether, XRP, which is all preparing for a bounce from huge support areas. Now, when we also look at silver, this is what we can actually find here. The price of silver came back towards 22.78, and that's really huge, because we were waiting for that from this level around $29 to $30 to a buyback level. If you look at yesterday's video or day before yesterday's video, I was pointing towards this area where we are going to enter into many different positions, say from 23.50, 23, 22, that area we are actually looking to buy in again. So I'm actually entering into multiple buy as the market opened. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. We are nearly at 10,000 subscribers, so that's a happy news. We've been working so hard, getting all the support from you guys pushed me towards this area from the beginning, as you all know. Now if you saw value in the content, please do hit that like and subscribe button, and I'm really thankful for all of you guys who have been supportive to this channel and me from the beginning till now. If you guys like to extend your support to support the quality of research executed here in the Scientific Industry channel, you can use the Patreon, PayPal or the XRP wallet address given in the description below. Now in the description, I've also given a link towards Binance. That will actually give you 20% off whenever you trade. Now that's beneficial for guys who are trading, repeatedly trading, entering into position, taking their profit and exiting. Those who are trading that market, it would be really helpful for you guys. And if you are investing, then if you are looking to jump into Binance from any other exchange, then that would be a win-win situation for both of us, because it would also help support the channel in one way. Now, when we all look at different aspects, different news and all, we actually have seen things like this, and this really is kind of pushing towards the next level of adoption and the next level of execution. If you look at the chart of Link, this is what we all see, right? It actually had a long overhead resistance here. Now that should be acting as a resistance. If the price is breaking below 7.57 area or 7 area, then we should be looking at somewhere around 5, just above 5, or getting into 5, that area. And if that doesn't hold, then all the way back to 3. But personally, I believe this area should hold as the moving averages are there. But if something like this is happening, then it may move towards $5. Now, that's not actually a bad thing considering where it started, right? 0.2, 0.3, and then went all the way up to $20. So it's kind of saying, say for example, XRP is now in 0.2 range. What if it goes to $20? That's a huge gain in terms of that, right? It's kind of 100,000% in profit, right? So that huge bull run in that cycle was there for a Link. We have to accept that, and at the same time you have to understand, when an asset is getting into bubble like 100,000%, you really have to think whether you should be entering into that market in a way that you are buying or you are cautious. So that is the key message for Link. Those who guys are trading Link or holding Link can look at these supports. If you are already taken your profit watching these distributional phase here, then you can look at these support resistant areas to get back into your positions. And if you're looking at the general market, which is say Bitcoin, Ethereum and other coins, we would be mainly looking at them. And in that case, you can see that it's still following the trend. We've been discussing that, and I think you guys it's clear. And for Ethereum, if you concentrate, it's the same pattern as we drew previously. Now we can also see a double bottom kind of thing here in Ethereum, and that is happening at this critical support resistance level. So when you see a pattern, if it is not in a range of any support and resistance, that can be invalidated at any time. But majority of the time, in my experience, whenever these patterns happen or the trend reversal and all happens at a critical support resistance level, that really does play out well. And Ethereum is showing that perfectly. And now here for XRP, it does kind of rhyme, meaning last time in the last cycle it did something similar before that blast off. Now what if we are going to get that blast off soon rather than later? Because the patterns are kind of indicating that there is underlying strength in the market from buyers side. So this is the 3-day chart, and you can see that we already crossed to the downside from MACD, and I was highlighting you guys even in the yesterday's video for precisely for XRP that you have to be cautious. There are indicators from MACD itself showing that downside is there, and I argued to you guys plotting the support resistance that the price, if remained at this support, it may not come back below this area and touch this rounded bottom support. But now it's kind of closing in towards that. But that too is still positive for me, considering the total support resistance which it have. Say the horizontal line, if you look at this red line, it's kind of acting as a resistance, support. So in that support resistance zone, it's still within that range. So it's a clear buy for me. Now that's talking completely technical, right? Now when we jump in to look at what these has to say, it really is interesting, because when we look at this, it's a file back from 2015 from Ripple. It's kind of the vision of Ripple, the company. And when we look at that, they are looking and talking about network effects on Ripple. Now if you look, they are partnering with many institutions. After 5 years, they have reached around the world, different continents, different giants in the market. And now when you actually go through them, it's not the first time you are seeing the word SPARK. Now when we talk about SPARK, it's not only the SPARK from Flare, but they're talking about just that terminology word. How Ripple can spark the internet of value. And now here we are, December will be the SPARK. right? Flare will be coming out, it will be rolling out, and they have Spark. And what does this Spark do? It allows the customers from Ripple to use smart contracts, right? This document from Mobius, it's a white paper, Mobius Crypto, this shows like they were interested in XRP, it's a cool platform, payment infrastructure, blah blah blah. But while cryptocurrencies such as XRP cannot support smart contract implementation, Mobius Crypto is preparing to offer ETH-based tickets. Now, what you have to understand there is they are preparing for ETH-based tickets. Now, when you go to the top of this article and look at what they were actually saying about tickets, you really have to understand they were in detail and fully, in line with XRP, because they were looking at XRP for this particular use case, right? And they are giving you different examples, all based on tickets and utilizing tickets. It's all based on XRP. Now, when they say that at the bottom, you have to understand how this is evolving, because say at the top, it's talking all about XRP in different use cases, in different reality. And then at the bottom, they're saying, there is no smart contracts issue. There is a smart contracts issue for XRP ledger because it cannot offer that stuff. And that is where now you can see Flare coming up with smart contracts platform for XRP ledger. That really is telling you that this is changing, and that Spark would turn into a wildfire. Now, when I say that, you really have to understand it's also a terminology in a Ripple's vision, that document, from a spark to a wildfire. So that really is what they are talking about. As liquidity on Ripple grows, which is not happening as of now, you can see the price is going down, so automatically the liquidity is also going down. Now, if you look at the volume, when the price is going down, it's kind of okay, right? The volume is still there, but it's not what we expected. It's not what we had previously. Comparing the Ethereum and BTC, the volume is kind of up, way up compared to what we used to have previously, because there was a time when the market cap of XRP and Ethereum was kind of similar, or at least half of that. So even in that aspect, XRP has to be 18 here, whereas Ethereum is on 36. So you get the point. It has to go up to match the market. But investors are pushing in, rushing in, understanding the potential of the asset. But the whales know that, right? The whales would be looking to kick out as much small investors as possible before they pump the price to the upside. And when you say the price cannot pump to the upside, you have to see this. This really happened with Link, right? It started at 0.2 and then bounced from there all the way up to 20, which is like 100,000% of profit. Now that really took, you have to understand, that really took 1.5 years to play out, right? So if we are looking at an asset like XRP and understanding from here, it may take 1.5 years. That too is cool. If the cycle is extended for other assets, I would argue it won't be similar for XRP. Why I say that? Because for the case of XRP, I believe that volatility is something would be restricted to shorter time frame, and that's what we can learn from the history of Ripple's XRP's price fluctuation. So if that took 1.5 years to do that, and now that's correcting, I will say that if you look at previous history, Bitcoin was the thing of that time. Yeah, now also majority of them talks about it, but when it hit its all-time high and was correcting, then was the time XRP pumped. It was still that particular time, right? And if you look at the market still now, BTC is not yet reaching its all-time high. It's kind of by 50% of that, but it's actually preparing to breach its all-time high. Now, if it's based on what I am looking at, I'll say that if you put a horizontal line here at the all-time high, we're going to close that all-time high on BTC soon. Now, that would be the similar case for Ethereum too. If you are going into Ethereum's chart and looking at where it is now, you can clearly understand that the all-time high of 1,400 would be breached soon. Say when we are looking at that all-time high and putting that line there, you have to understand from the price, say the price is here around 320, say from there to the top, to reach that all-time high it's 350%. It's somewhere around 350%, right? But what about XRP? And that is one of the interesting aspect which I really want to share with you guys. Meaning if you are entering into XRP even at this point, which is 0.22, and looking at the all-time high, it's 1600%. What was there in Ethereum, what was there in BTC. So compared to all others in the top 10 of crypto market, you will understand that XRP is the best option which you can have. Even though many would argue Link was the best option, but not now, right? It's coming down and it's already done 100,000% in last 1.5 years. So if you already missed that, then entering into that now would be kind of suicidal, because you can understand different markets play differently, different assets play differently, right? Now, when this spark is coming into this entire market for pushing the price up, meaning the adoption would be going too much high, as the partners of Ripple are also expanding. Now here the name is tied up with a huge name, which is Goldman Sachs. Volunteer Technology ties up with Goldman Sachs, and if you want to get a clear picture, I will show a tweet from Roses on the Moons 2 here. That also represents how this is going to act, because the API used by Volunteer in this case would be kind of something familiar when we look at this news too. And that brings these two really closer, right? It really has to happen in that particular way. And Michael sent me this one, which is also interesting, and that kind of is in line with whatever we stated now. 78 billion in collective assets. Believes that during the next 5 years, institutional investors will dramatically increase their crypto asset holdings. Now, if they were putting 1%, 2% or 5%, it won't be termed as dramatical change, dramatical increase. Now they are considering 1%, maybe they would be putting 10, 20, 25, 30% into crypto assets, not in one asset, but in many aspects. But the general market cap of the crypto is now 300 billion, somewhere near that. And if it is happening as investors coming in, this thing would be boom, it will go way past what we had in our all-time highs. So the market cap thing, argued by many, would be taken out. Now, why we look at all of these? Because the regulatory side, the regulations or regulatory side are being clarified by different areas. Say this is European zone and they kind of are working on this. The title reads here, Regulation of European Parliament and of the Council on markets in crypto assets. And when you actually go down, work on different aspects, say you get to know different things here. But when you actually come into this particular area, say page 53 and down, you get to see different aspects where they are talking about asset referenced token and the interoperability aspects. So they are talking about liquidity management and interoperability clearly. So if you would like to read that, then you can directly come into this area, or I just actually think I've missed that page number. So you can just search for that, and which would be like easy for you guys to do. Say when you are entering into interoperability, then they will show page 10 and all. Yeah, there that too is kind of talking something similar, which is the liquidity management policy and interoperability requirements. But the main area, yeah, page number 59, interoperability of significant asset reference token. So if you read here, you will understand we really are at an area where we are all looking at white papers like this one we talked, all are looking at the use cases. And now the use cases are coming out one by one. XRP Ledger itself is confirmed as a payment platform from majority of the banks, central banks, and governments and regulators pushing for its adoption, right? So the side of investment is really getting clearer for institutional guys. So when institutional guys are telling that we are going to size up our Bitcoin holding, we are going to size up our crypto general holdings, you have to understand it's including many other assets. Like here, the Bitcoin bull Tim Draper highlights that he is having many different assets, and it's not just Bitcoin and XRP. They are looking at all the other assets. Why? Because they understand that this is all going up. As we say, when that tsunami is here, the tide would push majority of the assets which have some kind of use cases, at least imagined by majority of the investors. It would push the price up. The institutions will take profits this time and may dump on the retail investors if they are not prepared well. And why I say that kind of stuff? To be prepared. You have to be prepared because this space is getting so complicated. Think, when the link reached 20, they were thinking about 200. When it was 0.2, they were saying 2, then 20. So when that happened, you can see this distributional pattern here where they were taking profits and then push to the upside, and usually that happens at the end of a bull run. Now this is on a weekly chart, and if you zoom out, you will actually get a clear picture of what I'm really talking about here. Right? If you zoom out and look at it, you can understand the pattern is clear. It was like this, which we had in XRP2, and then boom, before it was starting the correction. If you look at XRP2, you had something similar. Boom, it consolidated there, and then again before the correction or the bearish trend, it went upside like boom, a bubble, right? So that happens every time, and when it is happening, understand it's being prepared to dump on guys who are not prepared or who are expecting way more than what that cycle is going to prepare. Now, to understand that, we'll have to evaluate through the market cycle as it changes, as it turns positive, as it moves upside. We'll have to follow the price. So we would be doing that here. As you can understand, we would be giving you guys update on a daily basis. So guys, I hope you received value for your time, and if you did, please do support the channel, hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done that already. If you'd like to open up your heart and support the research executed in this channel, you can use the PayPal, Patreon, or the XRP wallet address given in the description below. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.